Episode 2 of Tracker takes Colter Shaw to Missoula, Montana. Jackson Chung, a 27-year-old accountant, has been missing for weeks. His parents meet with Colter and tell him about Jackson's new romantic partner, Rebecca Smith. She is almost twice his age, and yet Jackson has fallen for her head over heels. Ever since they met, he hasn't been the same, missing work, messing up relationships at home, and now he is missing. Colter has been having troubles of his own. After ignoring his brother Russell's calls and attempts to contact him, he grows concerned as his mother reports break-in attempts at the house. Someone took something from his father Ashton's dusty old office. Colter consults with Bobby on the case. He finds out that Rebecca's real last name is Pendergast. She has priors for committing crimes of insurance fraud. Recently, Jackson took out a policy where she is listed as the beneficiary. Colter gets her address from Bobby and goes to the house. Instead, he finds a strange room with computers set up with live feeds of different people. Jackson is one of them too. It doesn't look good. But before Colter can find out more, two armed men, hired private security, arrive to drive him out. He is forced to leave the premises. When he sees one of the security guys leaving the house, Colter follows him to an event. It is revealed that Rebecca is part of an organization called Positive Light. Seth Adler, its charismatic leader, is a spiritual and motivational speaker who helps people like Jackson to move past emotional stillness and tragedies in life. To Colter, it is clear what the nature of the scheme is. However, before he can confront Rebecca, she manages to get away in her car. The next day, Colter visits the headquarters on the outskirts of the city. The previous night, he made it clear to the parents that they could only convince Jackson to change his mind about leaving, not forcibly remove him. In the morning, Rebecca and Seth are already prepared for his arrival at the facility. They have also done a background check on him. Although most of it is surface level, Colter grows intrigued once Seth implies that his mother is keeping the reason behind Ashton's removal from his job a secret. Rebecca allows Colter to meet Jackson, who looks like he is brainwashed. He seems at peace with no inkling of doubt or regret on his disposition. Colter beseeched him to come back, but Jackson is firm in his decision to continue staying at the facility. Bobby informs Colter that Positive Light is involved in the business of fraud. They have several pending litigations, having also been pulled up for financial malfeasance. Also, it is revealed that the real reason why they want Jackson is because their former accountant, David Grassley, is dead. The circumstances around his demise are mysterious, forcing another probe. Since his widow Yana lives near Wyoming, Colter asks Teddy and Velma to talk with her. Colter receives a message later that night from Jackson, who wants to meet. However, it is a trap set up by Rebecca using his phone. She gives one final warning to Colter to stay away, threatening him with facing the brunt of the organization's ruthlessness. Colter is unfazed but leaves. During the car ride, Velma and Teddy update him about what they learned from Yana. She says that Positive Light killed David because he wanted to quit after learning the fraudulent intentions of the organization. Seth keeps all the physical evidence of his murder in his office at the headquarters in an office. He also has files of everyone he has ever met in the same place, which is where Colter is headed next. He forces a henchman following him to take Colter undetected into the facility. After getting inside, he ties him into the trunk of his car. Colter successfully collects evidence against Seth and Rebecca from the files. There is also a file on Colter, which he promptly takes with him. Colter sends a location pin to Teddy and she calls the police. He tells Jackson the truth, who is working on something on the floor above. However, Seth and Rebecca learn of Colter's intrusion and hold him at gunpoint. Jackson, angry at learning the truth, attacks Rebecca, giving Colter enough time to neutralize the threat. He is reunited with his family and Seth is arrested. Colter takes a look at his file before driving away for his next assignment. The episode review. Episode 2 is a stark contrast to the season opener. Dull, unimaginative, and without any flair, I hope it isn't a sign of things to come. While this isn't something you wouldn't put past a cable network show, Tracker did not hint at this outcome. I am also not convinced by the proposition that Coulter's team does all his legwork, and more, while he simply follows the leads and shows up at these places. It doesn't reflect glowingly enough to elevate him to the status of an inspiring hero. The format of the show, Coulter running away from his past by shutting the road and helping strangers, is complimentary enough to support the overarching narrative about his past. But the detailing is way off. Everything boils down to execution in the end, and episode 2 of Tracker lacks the killing touch.